Hey everyone, Dan Scott back again, where in this video I want to answer the question, what are demons? What were demons? Because you know, demons were not always demons. And answering this question is not possible without the book of Enoch. So we're going to consider many verses in the book of Enoch where ironically the word demon only appears one time. And in the Old Testament of the writ, we don't find the word demons, but in the New Testament we find many occurrences. Of course, the way they would manifest in people was to possess them bodily, because as we'll see, they don't have bodies. However, they can influence people's thoughts and actions. And like I stated just a minute ago, demons were not always demons. And the Ethiopic book of 1 Enoch here contains the word demon, revealing exactly what demons are and what were their origins. So what I'm going to do is get into the book of Enoch, and I'm going to actually read through many verses. So this video is going to be a little bit longer than my last few videos, but I think you'll forgive me. Here in Enoch chapter 6 we read, "And so it happened once the children of human," they multiplied, beautiful and wholesome daughters were born to them. So the Malachim, the angels, the children of the skies, saw them and lusted for them. They said one to another, "Come on, let us choose us wives from among the children of humankind and spawn our own children." Where when we jump down to chapter 7, we read how they, the wives, became expectant and bore great giants, whose height is described as being a monstrous 3,000 ells. So here we have the first generation of these offspring in the mixing of angelic DNA with human DNA. Now, when we come down here to chapter 9, we see the one and only occurrence of the word Rephaim. They, the Malachim Arim angels, have gone into the daughters of the people of the land and have reclined with these women, defiling themselves and revealing all manner of sins to them. These women have given birth to Rephaim, which word also occurs about 19 times in the Old Testament, where we need to understand that these spawn of angels termed Rephaim, as cohabitating together with human beings, did as their fathers did. They too bore offspring with human beings. So where the first generation would have been a direct descendant of fallen angels, the subsequent generations of Rephaim would be watered-down versions, descendants of demigods, which we need to perceive that this word Rephaim, as seen in the Old Testament writ, along with all the other words in the same word family, such as death slackened, for example, are not limited only to the first generation of these beings, but also their descendants and families, which exist to this very day. Now here in chapter 10 we see the appearance of Noah according to God's instructions concerning the obliterating of all that is in the land due to the origin of the corruption which spread and spread and spread, not only to human beings but to the animals in the mixing and corrupting of animals, where now we see the word Nephilim from the verb nephal, fall, which the noun here, Nephilim, defines the fallen ones, not limited to the origin beings of the Rephaim, but all the tribes. And Nephilim appears twice in the book of Enoch, here and in chapter 105, where we also find this noun 3 times in the Old Testament, where what is to be noted in Genesis chapter 6, verse 4, is that there came to be the Nephilim in the days of Jared and Noah. That is, all of the families, the demigods and their own children, the descendants of demigods, pre-flood, but also after that. So after the flood of Noah's day, we see that the Nephilim genome is still present on the earth. And there are many theories as to how this happened, but regardless, what we know is that their origin came from the offspring of angels bearing sons, and then those sons bearing more sons, and so on, and so on, and so on. And here in Numbers 13:33, they're called sons of Anak from the Nephilim. So Enoch is a Nephilim, of which the Anachim would belong to his tribe. And for your own reference, I'll place a list here of the many tribes listed for your own consideration, which may not even be exhaustive. Where next we read how the illegitimate, the degenerates, the children of immorality, they are to destroy one another in combat, where they as demigods and descendants of demigods hope to live Aeonian life. But each will live but 500 years, which according to my understanding would be the years that would involve their combating and destroying one another. Not until all of the tribes of the Nephilim were destroyed, but the demigods as origin being. Because obviously these tribes still exist, where we'll see the first generation became demons. Now as for the Urim, the penalty was different. They were to be bound under the hills of the earth, hence deep underground military bases, for 70 generations. Where on a side note, based on Psalms chapter 90, verse 10, this could equate to be about 4,900 years. So when we jump down to chapter 14, we read, "So from now on you will not ascend into the skies for Aeonian. The decree has gone forth that you be in bonds in the land, which is under the earth, namely Tartarus, to bind you for all the world's days." Okay, the world being the cosmos of the present eon, the present heavens and earth, where we read concerning their offspring, "You will see the destruction of your beloved offspring, and you will have no pleasure in them, but they will fall before you by the sword." Of which again, they were given 500 years, where the Urim, 70 generations. This brings us to Enoch chapter 15. Here Enoch is instructed to speak to the Urim, saying, "You should intercede for people and not people for you. Why have you left the high, separate, and timeless skies to lie with women, to defile yourselves with the daughters of Adam?" Adam here defining the reddish soil of the earth. "To take yourselves wives. Why have you imitated the sons of humankind and procreated monsters as sons? Though you were high, multi-dimensional, living the timeless life, why have you defiled yourselves with the blood of women? Why have you intermingled with the blood of flesh? In imitation of the children of humankind, why have you lusted after body and blood as do those who die and vanish? I have given men wives so they might infuse them and conceive children by them, so nothing might be lacking for them on the earth. You were formerly spirits living the timeless life, and immortal unlike all the families of the world, the cosmos. I have not appointed wives for you. As for the spirits of the skies, in the skies is to be their dwelling. And now these monsters who you have formed from the spirits and flesh will be called evil spirits on the earth. And on the earth will their abode be. Evil spirits have proceeded from their bodies because they are born from humans and from Urim. The latter were to be separate, but now their beginning and primal origins are mixed. Therefore they will be evil spirits on the earth, and evil spirits will they be called. Now we read, "As for the spirits of the skies, they will stay in the skies, but as for the land-bound spirits," okay, the land-bound spirits, those born on the earth, on land will be their abode. These monstrous spirits will afflict, oppress, havoc, attack, do battle, ruin, and work destruction upon the earth. Though evil spirits need no food, yet they still hunger and thirst, and they offend. These spirits will always rise up against the children of humankind, especially against women. Did you hear that, women? Especially against women, because they proceeded from them. So now these demigods have become demons, where ever since the days of their slaughter now, their destruction and death of these monsters, their spirits have gone forth from their souls and bodies to destroy with impunity, which means exempt from punishment. So from the time of their being wholly loosened away, both body and soul, they wreak havoc on the earth, even to this day, especially with women. So they will destroy until the age, the eon and day of the great judgment, conclusion, the judgment of the Erim and the unbelieving alike. So there you have it. Demons were demigods. They were part angelic DNA and part human. And we don't know how much of which. We can't say they were half and half, but they were not Elohim. They were not angels. They were not gods. And when God wholly loosened them away, both body and soul, they became unclean spirits. And next we're going to find more clarification concerning this verse on the screen from 1 Timothy 4:1, which speaks of the teachings through demons, the word through being added, where these errorizing spirits and these teachings unto demons will be seen. Which brings us to Enoch 19, where we find the one and only occurrence of the word demons, where we read, "Here will stand the Malachim who have coupled with women." And it's these that are assuming many different shapes, not the demons, where they also are leading humankind into sacrificing to demons as Elohim, as gods or godlings. Where again, demons are not Elohim. They were demigods, but now they're demons, disembodied spirits. Where the judgment here points to Jude 1:6 and the great judgment. So Malachim are the ones that are leading humans astray into sacrificing to demons as gods, monsters. So what would the many shapes of these Malachim be taking, assuming? Because they're said to be multi-dimensional. Enoch chapter 15, where again, it's not referring to the demons assuming many shapes, because demons were wholly loosened away, both body and soul, leaving them as evil spirits. Maybe this explains the shadow people phenomenon. So what shapes are these Malachim angels assuming? I mean, is it referring to inanimate objects? Could it be that these shapes are referring to human beings with shape-shifting abilities, hence multi-dimensional? Consider what Paul writes concerning Jesus coming in the flesh, where I know that Paul was well versed in the book of Enoch, and he was well aware of all that we've discussed here. So Paul writes, who below origin beginning, Jesus Christ as a human being, in the shape of God, did not count to be equal with God as a robbing, in antithesis to the fallen ones, who were deeming themselves to be gods, but were not gods. They were half human. They expected to live Aeonian life, but God cursed them to become demons, which sheds more light on the immaculate conception of Christ and his purpose for coming, and the blood, where Christ emptied himself, taking or assuming the shape of a slave. Where then, as a result of his coming, God heightened him to become better than angels. Now, before I close this video, let's consider an example in the real world of one who is being led astray to sacrifice to demons, monsters, as gods. Consider the rap artist Eminem, whose stage name Eminem is just a play on words from one of the tribes of the Nephilim termed Emim. And in a song where he collaborates with the artist Rihanna, what does she sing in the chorus of this song? Well, read it for yourself. Go check out the video. Where I might add that Rihanna has a song called Diamonds, as do many artists who sing about diamonds, such as the Beatles, Lucy, Lucifer in the sky with diamonds, which in Greek the word for demon is daimonion. So do I think that these people are crazy? Well, no, they're being led to sacrifice to demons as gods, just as are hundreds of thousands of others. where of course at present they're trying to keep it all hush-hush. However, their secrets will not remain, for not is one thing secreted which will not become revealed, but also not any away secreted one which will not, yea, not be known, and comes into the revealed. Hence, look how you hear, for who as it were has, to him will be given, and who as it were has not, also that which he deems to have, Rihanna, Mr. Amim, will be lifted from him. So I hope this video has helped you perceive the depths of exactly what are demons, what were demons, because there seems to be a lot of confusion surrounding this among Christian circles. When you look at the definitions of demons right here at Bible Hub, they say that they're angels, okay? But they're not. Demons were not angels from their origin, but they were mixed angelic human monsters. And these monsters exist on the earth today, and they do afflict and oppress. They wreak havoc in our thinking. Believe me, I know from experience. I was molested and demonized all my life. That was until I took up and slipped into the all armor.